All right, Mr. Jackson. So what brings you here today?
Well, I'm here today because I need to sue Mr. Bricko because of my recent wife had passed away, and it's okay. And I went through her phone, and I seen some messages that was exchanged between her and Mr. Bricko here, and I have reason to believe that he is the father of our youngest son, Guy.
Wow, wow. So, Mr. Brickle, what do you have to say to that?
First of all, it's hard for me to believe. I mean, yes, I've been close with this family for a long time. I tutor their sons, and we have a very close relationship. I'm shocked and alarmed by the whole thing. I really am.
Real close. Real close.
Come on, let's not get rude about it. But we're good friends. I tutored his sons.
Okay, he was my wife's friend. I just met him through my wife. So I trusted her to find us a good tutor, a math tutor for our youngest son. My other two kids are straight wizards, so I don't know why this son turned out this way.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, besides that, what else have you noticed? What else maybe physically makes you think that he might be the father?
Well, for once, his name is Guy, and I thought that was my little guy, and I turned around and found out it's his little guy. He's little Guy.
Oh, goodness. What do you have to say to that, Mr. Brickle?
It's hard for me. I'm flabbergasted. I never would have thought I'd been accused of anything like this. I had no children. I've never been married, and it's quite impossible.
All right, Mr. Brickle. So what was the relationship that you had with Mr. Jackson's wife?
Well, prior to them being married, we taught at the same school together. She was a school teacher, and then she pulled away from teaching when she had children, and wanted to stay at home. I'm sorry, I forgot to silence my phone.
That's probably one of his other kids right there.
My goodness. Okay. Now, is that necessary, Mr. Jackson?
No, I'm just saying. I'm just upset. I mean, my kid was born wearing khakis and penny loafers. I mean, he does not look like me.
Oh, my goodness. Got it. Okay. So you're saying that she pulled back Mrs. Jackson after she had her children. So what was your role in being a tutor?
Well, after he started school, he was having some problems reading and had some math problems. I'm a math teacher, and I do theater and stuff like that. So I read. I like to read at the library and stuff for the kids, so she called me and said, could I work with him, because he was having some problems reading and math, and we clicked pretty good, and we just had a nice relationship. It wasn't anything like what he's saying. I mean, I'm not like that. I've dated colored girls. Black girls before.
Now, can I object? Objection sustained.
You cannot object, Mr. Jackson. That is not that type of court.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. So now, how often were you at the house, please?
A couple times a week. Usually like a Tuesday and a Thursday.
What hours did you eat with the family? I mean, what else was going on?
She usually had something for me. Like I said, I'm a single guy, been that way my whole life, so I'd usually get a snack over there, and then when it got a little later, I never stayed more than 8 or 9 o'clock.
So you never dated anyone? Why haven't you dated? You never dated anyone seriously?
I never got to that. I had a couple of serious girlfriends, but it's been a while.
Okay. Do you feel that your connection, spending time with the tutor, may have been the issue, may have been the reason that you didn't connect with someone else seriously?
No, I doubt it. She always talked about, you got you got different ladies you work with. And I talk about them, you know, and possibly going out with some. But you know, she said she was going to fix me up with one of her girlfriends, and I put that black girl magic on me, whatever that is, you know. I don't know, but you know, I mean, I've been with white girl magic or whatever that is, but I've never been with a black girl before. So you know, I'm willing to try, but I mean, you know, it was just silly fun talking. You know, women, they like to try to fix men up and stuff.
All right, so Mr. Jackson, how often would you say he was at the house?
Well, I work graveyards, so he was there when I wasn't.
Oh, wow.
Right. So from reading the text messages and everything, it seemed like Mr. Copperfield over here got all the black girl magic he needed.
Oh, wow. Wow. So, Mr. Jackson, so are you saying that he's lying?
Absolutely like an MF.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And even on top of that, he was also sending her money.
Oh, interesting. So did you ever speak up or think to speak up about it, you know, back then?
Well, I tried to, but she always like kind of took it out of my head, you know. My ex, she's a retired stripper, so I mean, she knew how to push them buttons.
Okay.
And you know, it's one of those things where like it's, you know, out of sight, out of mind. And it was the last thing I was thinking about was, you know, my wife sleeping with our kids. Tutor. And my kids, let me just add, is a good reader. He just needed help in math, so I don't know where he got the reading from, but I think that was part of the whole reasoning for him to come over there and stay as long as he did. Because my kids can read.
Got it.
As well.
So in your opinion, he was trying to find more reasons to be around?
Exactly. Yep, my kid read 1,000 books by the time he was 6.
Wow. So now, did you take care of the funeral?
So yeah, I took care of the expenses and everything like that. And then he showed up at the funeral, and not only was he crying and bawling hard, he trying to sit in the front row with the rest of the family. I'm like, sir, what's going on? What are you doing? Who do you know?
Wow.
Yeah, go sit 3 rows back. And on top of that, he's crying harder than I was crying.
Oh, wow.
I mean, like bawling. I was like, this is something more than that. Don't nobody cry that hard, like, unless they really, really know that person.
Right. Wow. Understood. What do you have to say to that, Mr. Brickle?
Well, you gotta look. I've known her for a long time, and you know, like I said, we taught school together, and I was tutoring her son, and we have a lot of interests that are the same, and you know, art. We're both into music, and you know, I'm not trying to. It sounds like, you know, we were dating or something, but you know, we knew each other very well, and she was a close friend. And a lot of people at my school that I go to knew her very well before she, you know, gave up teaching to be a full-time mom. But yeah, I was very upset. It was like losing my best friend.
Okay, understood. Well, let me ask you though, did you ever feel like you were spending too much time there? Because it sounds like you two really got to know each other.
They were showing each other magic.
You know, it seemed like, you know, we had a schedule that I kept on, and then, you know, if her son ever had a question or anything, I would help him out with it. But you know, a single guy, you get a free meal here and there, you know, it's nice.
So why do you, Mr. Jackson, why do you think that he's denying things here?
Because he trying to avoid this lawsuit because he interfered with my marriage, and that would bring extra trouble to him on his half. And you know, just because the baby last name is Jackson don't mean it belongs to Jackson. So he knows he's gonna get sued because he interfered with my marriage, and that's a whole nother can of worms he opened. That's a whole nother trouble going on right there.
Understood. So do you have any reason to think that this child is not yours, Mr. Brickle?
I'm quite certain the child's not mine. You know, I was just doing my job as a tutor, and like I said, I was friends with his wife. I don't deny that, but there wasn't anything going on. And frankly, I do not believe that I can get anybody pregnant, to be honest with you.
Man, I should bust you inside your head for real. All the way to the white meat, just crack it open and just bleed out everywhere. How can you say that when men are having babies at 90 years old with 20-year-old?
Order.
I'm sorry, Your
Right.
Honor, Miss Lady.
Understand,
Your Honor.
Mr. Jackson. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So, Mr. Brickle, what will you do if it turns out that the paternity test shows that you are the father?
Well, it's not going to happen because I'm not the father. You know, I didn't have any sexual relationships with my friend. It didn't happen. And, you know, I had a vasectomy about 20 years ago. I had a close call when I got snowed in Atlanta. Yes, it does snow in Atlanta sometimes. And I got stuck there. I hooked up with a stewardess who 6 weeks later tells me that she's pregnant and was hitting me up for money. And after that got handled, because it was not true, I took care of business, snip. I can't do it. I can't cause a baby. I can't get anybody knocked up.
Okay. Thank you for that, Mr. Brickle. Now, what will you do, Mr. Jackson, if it turns out that the child is not his?
Your Honor, that baby is a white baby. That baby has a credit score of 720 right now. That baby was born with a Harvard degree. That baby is not mine. That baby is from the mountains of Caucasus. If I was in a high-speed chase and got caught by the police and the police seen that baby, they would let me go. Quick. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Goodness. Okay. All right. All right, gentlemen. In the case of 18-year-old Guy Jackson, the results are right here. Mr. Brickle, you are the father.
I knew it.
Mr. Jackson, sit down. Order. Sit down, Mr. Sit down, Mr. Jackson.
You low down, dirty snake
Down.
grass. How did you gonna? I knew that baby wasn't mine. Looked just like you.
All right. Okay. All right. Order. All right. Now that
I need
that's
to
it.
order that check. What's that check?
All right. With this new information, Mr. Jackson, what are you prepared to do with knowing this?
Well, right now I'm prepared to strangle this man next to me. That's what I'm prepared to do. That's what I want to do. That's what I think I'm gonna do. And as soon as we step out this court, it's going down because I can't believe this man he did this with my wife.
I understand, Mr. Jackson. I understand, and I'm sorry that it's turned out the way it has. Now, Mr. Brickle, with this newfound information, what would you like to do? What are your thoughts here?
Well, first of all, I want to be able to leave on my own first so I can get out of here and not get killed. And we'll see. I guess we'll be back in court.
Yes. Okay. All right. Okay, Mr. Jackson, just so you know, you can sue for back child support.
Okay.
And on top of that, you can sue for Mr. Brickle interfering in your marriage.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Your Honor. Thank you.
Certainly. Well, that is the law. And again, I apologize. I'm sorry for the way this is ending. Mr. Brickle, it looks like you might have a little journey on your hands financially. You'll want to get some things in order and be prepared to move forward and for what's coming next legally. Also, I hope you're not tutoring anybody else. Case dismissed.
Hope you ain't doing no more magic either.